Welcome to Ranger Reviews, a web series where we look at episodes of the TV show Power Rangers and then discuss them. Today we're exploring the 47th episode of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers titled Reign of the Jellyfish. We start this episode in Miss Appleby's class, who is finally back. She has a novelty-sized, clear time capsule that everyone in the class is going to add stuff to and bury so that in 100 years, people can know what life was like in 1994. Jason is putting his first karate trophy in there, and Kim puts in some 90s clothes to show that they had the freedom to choose what to wear. Trini asks Miss Appleby if she's putting anything in there, and turns out she is. It's a photo of the Power Rangers, so the future remembers them. Rita is mad about this for some reason, because she won't be remembered as well, so she demands a monster from Finster, who begins to sculpt the Jellyfish warrior. Catchy name, Finster. Back in school, Zach is putting in a CD with music on it, Billy is putting in a personal computer from the 90s that's honestly laughable, and Trini puts in that day's newspaper. Then Bulk and Skull show up to put a giant sandwich into the time capsule because they're the biggest waste of oxygen ever. Then of course, Bulk ends up with mayo on his face, and honestly, who cares? It's just really kinda gay. Later, in the hallway, Trini and Kim talk about how cool it is to have their photo be put into the time capsule. And then, Billy, Jason, and Zach show up to let them know that since they had the highest grades in the class, they get to bury the time capsule. Sounds like a punishment more than anything else, but we're back on the moon, where Goldar explains that he plans to send down putties who will distract the Power Rangers while Babu and Squat place a photo of Rita into the time capsule. What's really funny about this is that it's not like we don't know what Hitler looked like 72 years after his death, so like, why would they not know what an evil space witch looked like? In the park, the Rangers find the perfect spot to bury the time capsule via a sign that says, "Time capsule here," with an arrow pointing down, when putties show up. During this putty fight, we're treated to Ron Wasserman's new jam, Combat. Oh, and Babu and Squat are there, and they just start to steal the entire time capsule for some reason. And then the Rangers just finish the putties and turn around and see them doing this, so they leave without it. Great use of our time, everyone! On the moon, Rita yells at them, but it's okay, Finster has already sent down his monster. Zordon and Alpha notice the monster via the viewing globe in the command center before he contacts the Rangers. They morph to the scene. The Jellyfish monster fires them with lasers before the Rangers just retreat back to the command center. Bunch of losers. Zordon claims that laser was definitely a spray that's toxic, so Alpha hits them with special spray to protect them. Turns out Jellyfish is conveniently back, so they're back to the scene. The Rangers fight putties, which the Jellyfish claims are super putties for some reason, and there's some awesome ass choreography. He tries to hit them with his spray, and then he pulls out a damn umbrella that stops their power weapons from hurting him. And then when Jason goes melee with his power sword, now the Jellyfish can teleport? Oh, and now he can teleport the Rangers too? Well, now they're in another dimension. There, the Jellyfish turns into a ghost thing that can hurt the Rangers, but they can't touch him. So Zach pulls out his power axe to knock them out of there because Billy claims the monster is time phased. How can Zach hit something that they couldn't hit? Whatever. Rita just makes the monster grow out of evident boredom, and the Rangers call out their dinosaurs to form the Megazord, but not before they actually use their individual Zords a tiny bit to mess them up. We're really getting to the sweet spot of this show's formulaic nature, huh? Turns out the Jellyfish can still teleport for some ungodly reason, and he messes with the Megazord a bit before they just call in the Power Sword and kill him. Whatever, bye. At the youth center, the Rangers get 5 sodas from Ernie, and they mention how they buried the time capsule off screen. Probably couldn't get a permit to dig on site, huh? Bulk and Skull show up with their sandwich, and the Rangers have to tell them that the capsule's already buried, and then they drop the sandwich on themselves before they start fighting each other with it. Then we end this episode with all the Rangers talking about how they want a peaceful future with no prejudice, crime, or war. What a bunch of nerds. This is one of the first episodes in a while where I really feel the disconnect between the Japanese footage and the American plot. Usually they're able to kind of pull it off a little bit, but for some reason this episode just seems so disjointed and smushed together. Also, they didn't even give the Jellyfish monster a name. I mean, they call him Jellyfish Warrior, but even that's kind of muffled. It's a shame because I think the concept of this episode has a lot of potential. If they had just set up the rules of the Jellyfish's powers before things got started and getting really random and weird, I think it could have worked. Maybe next time though. Maybe not though. Next time we're reviewing another one of my absolute favorites as a kid that solidified Trini as my favorite of the original 5. But until then, may the power protect you.